What's up, guys? All right, Crypto Manny here, and we're going to be talking about Bitcoin, where it's at, where it's going. All right, so before we start, we're going to check out the charts. All right, what I want to tell you guys about Bitcoin, where I see it going, is I see it heading down. It's going to head down first, and then it's going to head back up. So I'm going to show you what I'm seeing, okay? All right, so we just cracked the all-time high of Bitcoin. Let me move myself down here, and all right, so let's take a look at the charts. BTC, USD. I don't want Tether, I want USD, because the reason why I don't want Tether is because it could have cracked a lot of different things on Tether, but on USD is what you really want to see. That rhymes. USD is what you really want to see. All right. So let's use the oldest chart, which is going to be the Bitfinex chart, but I don't want to use the Bitfinex chart right now because A, I've already marked up some stuff there. B, don't want to show you what I have marked up. Not a joke. I want to see what I always wanted to show you guys. All right, let's use Bitstamp. Actually, no, let's use this one here. Wanda. Hopefully, it does have enough market data. All right, let's go back to the daily. Let's get rid of this. And let's see how far we go back on Wanda. All right, we got enough market data. All right, so I'm not going to go back that far because if you watch my other video on terms of price cycles, which you can find at the bottom, you'll know that what I'm seeing in terms of market cycles. But here's what I'm going to talk about right now, which is where do I see it going? All right, so using a Fibonacci retracement is very, very important. Fibs and Bitcoin kind of go hand in hand, okay? So as you can see right here, we're going to go low to high, okay? There's two areas that we're looking at here. One is the 786 and the other is 886, okay? These zones are very, very high zones in terms of buying and or selling, all right? So I'm going to show you this is now what will be known as resistance in the market, okay? At the bottom, so I'm going to show you where is support. And this is, when I do this, you're kind of going to kind of see why I'm doing this, all right? All right, so let's go right to these lows here. All right, so we can see here's your previous low. So this is your support in the market. And then here's some more support, which is the 786, 886, okay? Market doesn't necessarily always need to tap into there, but it does need to tap into there, all right? And then here is your 618, 50% zone, all right? And then we go down, we go low to high, and we should have something very similar, which is your 618, 50% zone is just pretty much all up to here. And that's kind of a zone or a territory where Bitcoin can kind of move freely, okay? So as you can see, it does kind of move freely in here, but once it comes out of this zone here, it comes out, and then once it gets in, it's kind of moving freely, all right? Up and down in the zone. Now, what I think happened here is I pretty much would have said that this is going to come up to here, at least retest here, and then come down. And what happened is that it kind of came up, came down, and then retested. You see what this is? This is 3156, okay? So remember the number, 3156. All right, so this is now your resistance. This is your support. And you can see in the market that price respects its support, all right? This is the bottom support. This is where buyers are going to show up. Buyers are going to show up right here. Now, if you look, let me zoom in into current daily price action here. if you look what happened here, see how it rejected off of here, came down, retested, and continued. All right. So it came up, closed above, and then continued. But you see that when price got close, it rejected and came down. Okay. And also you can see that from here. Price came up, rejected, came down, retested, came down. Okay. So it wasn't ready here to actually go there. Why? Because there's a lot of selling pressure there. Okay. So where do you get your other zones from? So that's another place where you get a zone from. So we're just going to do a area of so we got right here, and we got right here, 786, 886. Okay. I'm not going to go lower in terms of buying because you pretty much already missed it. It's not going to head back down to there, but I'll show you in terms of what that looks like so you can kind of see why these zones are so important. And all I'm doing is marking up the 786, 886, and then showing you the 618 on a big time frame. All right, so 786, 886. Look what price does when it hits the 786, comes right into the 886. Okay, so the 886 of this zone, right? It looks like it's about to just go right through it, and then it actually wicks into it if you zoom in on it. So let me zoom in so you guys can see. This is a wick. It's not actually a candle. So see, price found support in that zone, which was 886. All right, so that's where buyers show up. Remember that. Buyers are always going to show up in the 786 and 886 zone. So the way I can describe it is like this. You're going to the store and you're buying some shoes. Do you want the shoes full price, 50% off, 60% off, 78% off, or do you want it 80% off? Okay. The Fibonacci retracement kind of shows you where market wants to go. All the time you want it as cheap as possible, right? That's what it is. All right, so right now you can see that price had trouble in these areas right here. Okay, came down, gained enough steam, and then blew up into it. Then came down, retested here, came up, popped the all-time high, and now we're looking at a candle that's now higher than the last high. Okay, so where does price go to from here? Let's use this, which is now the high. Price just wicked into the all-time high, but you can see that it did not stay above the all-time high. It wicked into it this morning, and price is going to close below the all-time high, which that right there kind of tells you where it's going to next. Because if price was going to, you pretty much have the rest of the day, and if price is going to go past the all-time high, then that's going to tell you it's a continuation. But this is some strong selling pressure up here. Okay, so where does price go to next? Price has to go to the next zone of support. The next zone of support is 17. All right, now we can see what happened when it got into 17. It got into 17, and then it blew up back out of 17. Now here's the thing. It just took out all the pressure out of here. So this now has to be support. But now if this is not support, the next zone is 15. And if 15 is not support, then the next zone is 12. I see it heading back to 12. Now, in terms of 12,699 to 13, the reason why I see it is because of one thing, that these are the prior zones that were resistance, and now they're going to become support. Now, what most people are going to do is they're going to take their Fibonacci retracement, right? And they're going to look from this low to this high, and they're going to look at this 382, all right? This 382 is actually very, very important, because if this is going to continue in terms of a market, you want to go on. This is kind of more on a monthly scale. This is not going to be on a daily scale. Okay. Now, if this is going to continue as a bull run in the market, price needs to close above this 382 zone, which is 3167. I'm going to mark that up here. And I'm going to turn that into a purple line. All right, purple. And then December monthly needs to close above here. All right. So the December monthly candle needs to close above here. Now I have that here. That's kind of like my sign. Here's what I'm looking for on the monthly. Okay. Now what we want to see is we want to see what happens with Bitcoin. So I'm gonna leave this chart here on Amanda, and I'm gonna leave it exactly like this. Okay. And I'm gonna tell you guys what I expect to happen, and then in a month from now, when it does happen, you guys can see it for yourselves. All right, so here's what I see happening with Bitcoin moving forward, going into, this is more of a monthly thing. Over the next month, what we're going to see is we're going to see a large wick coming down to about here, 15. And then we're going to see a large wick coming up from here. So coming up from here. And then we are going to see a doji candle that ends in between the sun. Okay. So here's what I expect to happen. Based off of today's sell-off, which is what's happening right now, price is not going to continue up. It's going to open up here somewhere and then come down here on a monthly, and what you're going to see is some bearish momentum going down on a monthly. So it will look similar to this candle here. The only difference is, see the difference between this candle and this candle? This candle is a very strong bullish candle, okay? This candle was kind of rejected at the top. Like, they didn't spend a lot of time there. Where price is showing right now, it's spending a lot of time up there. So even this wick could be even higher, where we might see it something like this, where that might be where the bulk of the price ends, and this might be all wick. Because the reason why I see it just blowing past there and then coming up there, well, like, to go into it kind of is, you got to back test it all the way into the zones where I was before. If you watch my market cycles video, you'll kind of see why I see it going there. But it pretty much has to do with the stuff that's before this, before 2016. So that's what I see in terms of the Bitcoin price. So I'm going to leave this all here just to show you guys in a month, when Bitcoin stays above and closes above 13.6, it's going to revisit those zones. So now you're going to be like, all right, Manny, what do I do with this information? How do I take advantage of this? Okay. So in order for you to take advantage of this information, you're going to need to have to buy Bitcoin. You're going to have to buy Bitcoin at some zones. And that's the only place you can buy it. You're going to have to buy it at 17. You're going to have to buy it at 15. You're going to have to buy it at 13. And if you see a 12, you got to buy it at 12. If you see an 11, which may happen, but it'll be a wick, you have to buy it at 11 too. Okay. Now, what you're going to be doing is something called dollar cost averaging. So you're not looking at the price that you're buying it in. You're looking at where it's going to. Because what I see it happening where it's going to next, I will show you my BLX chart, because that's where they. So where do I see it going to next? Same thing. Buying area of 11, 12. So I showed you that based off of the chart I already showed you. So let me show you here, because it kind of does the same thing over and over and over again. You guys kind of have to see it for yourselves. So the beauty is I already marked this up. So now that I've already marked it up, I'm going to share it with you guys. I don't think I shared this part of the BLX with you guys. All right, so here's what I see happening. All right, here's your bull market. Here's your first bull market in Bitcoin. We went from $0 all the way up to $32 in a span of a little over a year. Then we went down, we did our bear market all the way to $2 from $33. Accumulation, expansion, reaccumulation, and then boom, price takes off on a monthly. Then we head up, we blow past. This is monthly now, not daily. And I can show you daily, but it's going to be a lot more candles. But I want to show you monthly instead. All right, so we blow past, we form a new all-time high on the monthly. This new all-time high is roughly about 1100. 1100. So now we have price go in, go out, breaks in, and then bear market. Continuation downward. You can do that 618 retracement patterns all through there. See how this is now the 618. Price comes in, price comes down, which is now your reaccumulation phase. All right. And now price taps into the zone, breaks out of the zone, which is now the high here. And now here's your new all-time high. Price rejects, comes down, and then finishes up here, the doji candle that I was speaking of, right? So if you look at it on a daily, you'll see that there are stronger wicks. So then from there, the following month, what we see is that price respects this zone right here, and then comes up, closes, retests this zone one more time, and then takes off. Now this took off for 20,000. All right, so then going into here, you can see exact same thing, bear market accumulation, expansion. Then we got a reaccumulation. Here's your 786, 886 of the zone. Price has trouble in this, comes down, comes back up, comes down, and then takes off past it, blows past the zone, blows past this zone, and now price is right in here. So wherever this candle ends off, that will be the monthly candle, which will probably end off here. There's still 2 hours left in the month in terms of the monthly candle of Bitcoin. Like I said, what I see happening is price heading downward. That's only prints off on the daily. So once it finishes, we'll see what happens. But what I see next is price coming down on a daily, reject off here, come back up, reject off here, come back up, and then final rejection, because this is going to flow so smoothly on a daily. Okay, on a daily, what's going to end up happening is that because it's in the middle of a zone, see how price floats smoothly up? We'll expect price to flow smoothly down as well. It's almost going to be like free falling and all the way down. You can see on the daily, look what happened. So this candle is finally going to print. It's going to print what's known as a double top. All right. Now, for those of you who are into market geometry, it's also forming what's known as a harmonic pattern. Okay. So we now hit a double top, which is a one. It's going to hit. It's pretty much going to be 113. Just tap the all-time high, and then which will be a 786 retracement, which will be here. Okay. So let me show you this. So this is what's known as a cipher pattern. And then look what happens, 786 retracement off of harmonic pattern. All right, for those of you that know harmonic patterns, and those of you that follow it, then there's your harmonic pattern right there. You're welcome. Here's your C to D. Because this would be known as a cipher pattern where price always takes off just a bit higher on the C, which will end up in this zone here. So Bitcoin might tap that 20,000 tomorrow. Might do one more tap of 20,000 just to say it was there, and then continuation downwards. Or it just might end off right here because the 113 from on the Fibonacci is. So let me show you this, and then I'm gonna project. All right, so here's your low, here's your high, here's your low. So you can see where your 113 is. 1991. So on some charts, it got there today. So I don't see it going more after this because the fib is strong with this one. All right, and then from there it rejects and hits the 786 with this move. Right, that's the harmonic pattern. That is the cipher pattern. Okay, so from there, what that means is that off of a daily cipher pattern, what you can do now is that you're gonna buy at D, right? D, the completion of D is gonna be here. So you have to buy off of D and then continually buy. So if you're looking for buys, 12,592. Okay, 12,592. So anywhere between 12,500 to 13,000. Now I'm gonna tell you the honest truth. It's not gonna look like something you're gonna want to buy. Okay, it's gonna look a lot like this. So there's gonna be news in the next couple days that's going to push the market down. That's gonna cause people to sell off. Okay, to be bad news. News is what moves the market. So what we're going to look for is something like this, okay? Because it's forming the head and shoulders pattern. It needs to do the shoulder of on the daily, because now that it's come up to here, it's retested and blown past. So now that's not going to be a shoulder. That's going to be a head. So now we have to find the next shoulder, which will only come up to 19. So if it comes back down to here, retest 17, it'll do one more down and then down, because it needs to do the head shoulder. Now it could come up to 18 as well. It could come up right about 18.5, 18.9, 19,000. Because look at this, it doesn't always look perfect, right? But here's your head and shoulders pattern, right? And then the accumulation phase back up. Here's another head and shoulders pattern, but price didn't go down. And here's another head and shoulders pattern, but price didn't go down. You'll see this one. So the price, actually, the price did go down right there off of this retest of this shoulder. So it came up, retest the shoulder, and then continuation down. So if you're looking for it, what you'd see is this could also be in the head and shoulders pattern if you go on a 4-hour chart. And what you'll see is, so you'll see is this is the retest of the continuation down. But this is a cipher pattern, so look out for it. What you're going to see now is you're going to see over the next month selling pressure going down, and there's going to be news that's going to push that down. So watch out for the news. News is what moves the market, guys. The news is what moves the market. All right, guys, that's it for today. Make sure you follow me on my Instagram channel. I'm going to leave it here. Instagram for everyone is at Crypto Manny. Pretty straightforward. IG is at Crypto Manny. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that notification button, so when I drop videos, you guys get notified first. And also make sure you like and share and comment, even if you just say hi, how you're doing. I like it. I like what you're putting out. Put it out there, all right? I want to make sure that I'm putting out video content weekly, or even on as much as possible on the days that I'm in the middle of trading. I want to make sure I'm putting out content for you guys, so at least you guys can see what I'm seeing in the market and you're prepared for the next move. Now, I'm talking about big moves in terms of swing trading. I don't really want to talk about price action trading, because price action is going to change every single day, and I don't feel like making that many videos, to tell you honest truth. If you really, 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 really want to know all that, reach out to me. I have a mentorship program. I mentor people on how to trade and how to do this stuff as well. All right, so this is very learnable, this is very teachable, and it's very duplicatable. You guys have a great day. I'll see you at the top, because the bottom is way too crowded. Peace.